Power Apps, we can create different types of applications. One is Canvas app. Model driven app. Next, third one is Portal app. Every time only any of these apps only we can create. Only 3 apps only we can create. Either you can create Canvas app. In Canvas, you can create a number of applications. In model driven, in a number of model driven applications. In Portal, and number of applications you can create it. But we can create only these applications in Power Apps. Okay, Canvas app, model driven app, and Portal app. Okay, again, what Canvas app will do? Canvas app. When see in Canvas, there are two types of apps. It will be there. Again in Canvas app, we can create two different applications. Okay, one is like Canvas default app. Canvas blank app. These are the two different. First of all, what is a Canvas app? That means whenever you choose a particular data source, automatically app will be created. That we can call it as Canvas default app. Okay, that means here based on data source selection, automatically Power Apps will create application. Okay, so that means, but whenever you choose a Canvas default app, okay, when you choose a Canvas default app, what will happen? It is just asking the data source. Okay, if you select a particular data source, like you are having a different data sources are there, like OneDrive, like Google Sheet, SharePoint list, okay, or SQL Server, there are different types of data sources are available. Whichever data source you want to connect it, you just need to select that particular data source. Okay, once you select a particular data source, okay, once you select a particular data source, then automatically Power Apps by default it will create an application. So in that application, whatever operations you want to do it, like CRUD operations, means create, read, update, delete. If you are doing any of these operation, automatically it will create, or those CRUD operations will be applied to that particular app, as well as to the data source also it is applied. That is the biggest advantage in Power Apps. That means user can interact easily with the data source. Okay, up to now, before this Power Apps, what they will do, if the user having, after seeing the user, after seeing his data, there is some modification that immediately he need to inform to the database, data source related developer. He need to inform to him, and until he updated all the things, he need to wait for that one, and after that he can see the latest one. Now it is not required like that. That means in the once you create an app, and if you share that app to that particular user can user can directly interact with the data. So that means whatever the things he want to update it, whatever things he want to delete it, everything from his side only you can do it. No need to interact with the developer. That means we can automate the things here itself. So for that, when you use Canvas default app, that means here it will shows all the details from all the details to that particular app. That means whatever the data source data is there, that it will pull the data, and it will shows each and every record in the app itself. There is no restriction here itself. That means I want to pull particular data only. I want to pull like a few of the records only. That it is not possible in Canvas app. In Canvas app, we can pull all the data from the data source itself, and we can easily interact with the data source itself from Canvas app. Okay. So, and when you choose a Canvas default app, directly when you choose, when you select a particular data source, automatically app will be created, and in the app itself, whatever things you have to do it, all are reflected to the data source as well as app. Understand? And next one is Canvas blank app. If you, that means if you want to customize the app, that means by your own you want to create it, then you have to use Canvas blank app. In Canvas default app, what will happen? By default, some screens are provided by Power Apps. With that screens only, you have to do all the things. But if I want to create my own app, then you have to select Canvas blank app. Understand your name? That means from scratch, you can customize. Customize means by your own, what you require, those only you want to show it into that particular. For that, you have to customize the app. Here itself, you can do it in Canvas blank app. Understand? Next one. Model driven app. Here also we can create. Here also we can create an application. But we can restrict the data. But we can restrict the data here itself. Okay, that means in Canvas app, we cannot restrict it, right? But in model driven app, here also it will create an application. But what data is required, those only need to be displayed in model driven app. Okay, so for that model driven app, so which is required, those only if you want to show it, then you have to use model driven. Understand clearly or not? Next one is portal app. In this, you can create a flow. That means first which applications you want to run it. That means suppose for example, I want to run a particular Power BI application, after this Power Apps application, after this Power Automate. So you can set the flow, which process need to run it first. So that means here itself in this, we can create a flow. In in this flow, which applications you want to run it first and which applications need to run after. Like that, you have to decide it here. Understand? So now when you create, so in Can, first we need to discuss about the Canvas app. In the Canvas app, you will have an option like two different ways are there, right? Canvas, a default app, Canvas, a blank app, right? So in Canvas default app, see here, first we need to discuss about Canvas default. Here, you can select a particular data source, okay? And after that, automatically app will be created. For example, I want to connect with Google Sheets data. Google Sheets data. Google Sheet is a data source. From there, in the Google Sheet, see, Google Sheet is nothing but it is a storage. Like, so if you want to store the files in that particular location, you will have a different data sources will be there. OneDrive is also storing the data. So like even Google Sheets and SharePoint also storing files and everything there itself. So you need to connect to that particular Google Sheet. Under the Google Sheet, what Excel data is there, you want to load that particular Excel data into Power Apps. Understand clearly or not? So for that, what you have to do is, so first you need to upload the data in the Google Sheet itself. So for that, what you have to do, you have to open the Google Sheet. Okay. Suppose for example, see here. Okay. First you need to connect with the Google Sheets here. Okay. Google Sheets is nothing but if you connect with a Gmail, with a Gmail credentials, only the Google Sheet credentials also. Okay. So which ones, Sandana? Like, can you show the example for these two? Like, one by one, I will show you, Sandana. Okay. So, see here, there are two options will be there, right? So, Canvas default app, Canvas blank. First of all, I will explain you what is this one, and after that, with a practical example, I will show you. Is that clear? So, see here. So now Canvas default app. In this, I'm connecting Google Sheets, OneDrive, like that I will connect it and show how we can pull that particular data. And after pulling the data, how the app is created. Everything I will show. Is that clear, Sadhana? Yeah. See here. So first you need to connect with Google and here is an option 6 like this. It will be there, right? Click on this particular one. When you click on this particular option, you will see like come down. If you scroll down, you will see an option. Google Sheets is there, right? Click on this one. Once you click on this one, okay. First, what I'm doing before connecting to the Google Sheet, how to create or how to upload my local Excel file into the Google Sheet. And from there, you can do all the things. Or else you can create an application here also. You can create that Excel sheet here also. You can do it. Understand? In both the ways, I will show you. Suppose, for example, you want to create a new Excel sheet in this Google Sheet itself. Then you have to click on blank. What is that? Blank. So click on this one. If you want to create any Excel sheets in the Google spreadsheet, then you have to use this create blank. Okay. Blank sheet is there, right? Click on this one. And here itself, you can create the what columns are required for this one, everything. Like suppose, for example, I have ID column. Once again, it is loading. Okay. So after preparing the data here, so you have prepared the data, right? After preparing a data in the Excel, so anywhere, not only this data source, for any data source, if you prepare the data in the Excel, okay, after preparing the data, you have to convert this data into spreadsheets, like format as a table, you have to do it. Understand clearly? Okay. So that option, like there is an option like format, okay, like here some format option as a table option is there, then only you can apply that particular option, and after that you can load the data to this one, like so I think so whatever the table we created, just we need to create the table here itself, and after that you just need to save the data in the Google Sheets itself. Understand clearly? So once you created, so here, and go back to this particular one. Okay, so this is the sheet, it is created automatically. This sheet, we need to pull it into the Power Apps. Or else, suppose for example, if you want to upload the Excel data in the local system, I have an Excel data is there. That data, I want to load it into in the Google Sheet. So then, suppose for example, my sheet is available here itself. That means when you come, suppose in local system, like here itself, the data is available. This is the data. Okay, not only this one, suppose you create it here itself, like right click on this one, there is an option like Microsoft Excel worksheet is there. Click on this one, and like XY test2 name, and after that here itself, see here, I created ID name column. Okay, 1 2 2 3 4 and 5, like this. See, like this. Once you create the table in the Excel sheet, what I told you, you have to convert into format as a table. Okay, so select that particular table, and in the Excel, under the home, you will see a option format as a table, right? Must and should, you need to convert it, because what will happen, whenever the Power Apps is connected with any Excel data. Okay, so if it is treated as a table, means that must be in a format, any of the table. Like there are different options are there here. Like suppose, for example, see here, medium, there are different templates are there. Anything if you select it, then only, see here, my table has a headers also there. So you have to click on OK. Then it will be converted into as a table. This deleted data only, it will pull it into Power Apps. Okay, suppose I created this one, and after that close this one. Once it is closed, then what will happen? So once the data is saved here, once you properly convert into format as a table, and after that, this data, I want to load it into Google Sheets. Okay, for that, what you have to do is, see here on the right side, open file picker option is there. click on this one. Okay, when you click on this one, so here you will see an option called upload. What is that? Upload. Okay, so under the upload, so click on browse. Where your file is available, you have to select that particular file. Where the file is available, so test one. See here, load that particular file into this Google Sheets. See here, this it will be loaded, right? Now I want to pull this Excel sheet data into Power Apps. Now see, okay. So here, what you need to do, suppose for example, if you want to connect with any of the data source related, okay, if you want to create any Canvas default app, under the create option, okay, you will have a different options are there. Blank app, data, see there are different data source related things are there. This is a Canvas blank app. That means from the scratch what you want to display, so those related things you want to create it from the scratch onwards, then you have to choose blank app. Okay, suppose for example, if you want to connect with any of the data source related, here these are the any of the option you have to use it. And here what will happen, here it is, suppose you want to connect with any data source related data, okay, then here other than this you have to click on any of these data source. Vijay, suppose for example, I click on SharePoint. That means the meaning of that one is it is not connected to the SharePoint. It is connected to the first, it will connected to the data source connections tab. From there, whichever data source you want to connect it, you have to select it there itself. This will, any of this one, because only few data sources only it will shows here. So if you want to see, if you want to connect with any of the data source, means just click on any of these 5 data except blank app. Any of the data source, you just click on that one. Then the next it will go to the data source connections tab. Okay, under the data source connection tab, okay, here you will see an option called new connection. What is that? Here you can see an option called new connection. Okay, so click on the new connection, and here all the data sources are available here itself. Okay, so all the data sources are, whenever you click on new connection, you can see all the data source. Which data source you want to connect it, here itself you need to select that one. But these data sources we cannot see here itself. Some only few data sources only it is available here. That don't think like if I'm clicking on this one, it is connected to the SharePoint. Suppose I want to connect to the Google Sheet. Google Sheet is not available. Don't worry. But if you click on any of the data source, first it will go to the data source connection tab. From there, whenever whichever data source you wanted, you just need to click on that particular one. Then automatically you from there onwards, it will connect to that particular data source. See here, like I want to connect with a Google Sheet. Click on Google Sheet, create. That means here, what credentials you need to give. That means whatever the Gmail credentials are there, those credentials. Because when you are connecting with a Gmail, you are connecting with a Google Sheet with the Gmail credentials only, right? Those only you have to select. Understand? Select that particular one, click on allow access. That means you need to give the user, that means Gmail ID, password, and everything. So click on allow access. Okay. After clicking on that one, now we are logged into that particular Google Sheet. From there, which Excel sheet you want to select it, that you have to click on this particular one. And see, there is a sheet one is there, right? Select that one and click on connect it. it will take some time to load the data. So for that reason it is not coming. But when you see, actually on the top it is loading, right? See, it is loading. So for that it will take time, because now only we created that particular data source, right? See here, now the data will comes here itself. Okay, so that means that Google Sheets data, it will comes here. So see, that means without creating a single line of coding, you can connect to the data source, and after selecting a particular data source table and load that particular, and that means load that particular data here, it's in Power Apps. And after loading that particular data source, that means Excel sheet data, then automatically Power Apps will create an application here itself. Understand? This is the default Canvas app. That means whenever you choose a particular data source, automatically for each and everything, not only this one, for any data source, these are the default screens it will be created. Okay, in this screen itself, see here, there are different screens like browse screen, detail screen, edit screen. That means in browse screen, you can see all the data. Okay, in detail screen, that means for any particular record details, if you want to see it, then you have to go to the detail screen. Understand? If you want to modify the existing one, okay, if you want to modify the existing one, then you have to use edit screen itself. If you want to just view the data, or else if you want to delete the record, okay, then you have to go to the detail screen. Okay, if you want to create a new record, if you want to create it, or else if you want to see all the data from that particular Excel data, then you have to go with the browse screen. Okay, so we can stop it here. Tomorrow, once again, I will connect with again one more data source like Google, that means OneDrive data also we can connect it and load the data. And in this particular screens, what are the different elements are there? Okay, these elements, how we can suppose, for example, how it will works, and if you want to change any design part of these elements, how it will be affected in that particular application. Okay, suppose if you want to do any CRUD option operations in the data in this particular application, is it reflected to the data source also? Okay, that we can discuss in tomorrow's class. Understand clearly? So SharePoint, Sadhana, SharePoint list only we can connect. Okay, not the SharePoint Excel's data directly. Understand? When you connect with the SharePoint, only SharePoint list data only we can. We cannot load the SharePoint Excel sheet data into Power because it is not supported. Understand, Sadhana? But for OneDrive or like suppose Google Sheet, you can directly connect with the Excels. Okay, but when you connect with the SharePoint, it is only taking the SharePoint list data, not the Excel's data. Understand? It will be in format only. Yeah, see, not only this one, like see, in different data sources, format tab is different. Suppose, for example, like Prabhavati, like suppose if you are connect with a local Excels or anything, okay, when you open your Excels directly in this particular local Excels, under the home, there is a format table, directly option will go. When you connect with a different data source, Google Sheets is there. So when you open that one, that template is different, right? You have to set it where that format as a table option is there. There itself, you have to click on that one, and automatically it will work. Is it clear? See, Rupali, I told you, right? So today some people are joining. So from today onwards, the actual class will be started. Some people will doesn't understand one or two times. If I explain it, then only they can understand. So that's the reason. So all the things. Yeah, because from yesterday only it will be start. That means on Friday only the actual class will be started. Today, so how you can connect it, how you can pull it, each and every option. Suppose, for example, suppose I have a data Excel's that means Excel's data is available in Google Sheets. Okay, so directly I connected to that one. But if you don't know how to create an Excels in the Google Sheets, how you can upload the Excel sheets in the Google Sheet. From there, how you can connect it. What is the option is available? You don't know, right? That's the reason one by one, step by step, we are explaining. Understand? Whatever the data source we are connecting using Power BI, those many we can connect using Power Apps or any change or restrictions is there. Here restrictions is there. See, Prabhavati, in Power BI data source, all are free to connect it. Okay, there is no restriction. But here, when you want to connect, this is a cloud, right? For cloud related licenses are required, few of the data sources. Okay, so for this, like suppose for example, in Power BI, when you connect with Excel data, so directly you can connect with Excel data and you can load it. There is no restriction. But here there is a restriction. That means gateway is required for this one, connect to that particular one. Okay. And licenses are also required for this one. Okay. So here some restriction will be there in Power Apps. Only few of the data sources are free. For other data sources are must and should you need to require a licenses, then only you can connect to that particular one. Maybe see, both are not same, like Power BI data sources and here like Power Apps data sources, both are not same. Okay, the Power Apps is a like a cloud based environment, but Power BI it is a local one, like you can connect with any data sources directly without having any restriction. Understand clearly? Yes, yes. So for few of the data sources, Prabhavati, not all the. So in Power BI, you can directly connect. That means you can download that particular SQL server and you can create all the tables and you can directly pull it into Power BI. Is there any restriction? No. Okay. But whenever you connect with the SQL server in Power Apps, there are so many restrictions. That means you need a gateway, you need a license for that one, all the things. But few other data source like they are free to connect it, like OneDrive, Google Sheet, like SharePoint list. Okay. So all these things we can directly connect to that one. Understand clearly, Prabhavati? Is that fine? Yes, yes, yes. So we can stop it here. And anyone having any doubts on anyone? Like, yeah, tell me. Shubham?
Sir, I want to do the Dynamic 365 for this that this course is suitable for that Power Apps.
Uh, yeah, like, see, Dynamics 360 for which purpose you have to use it?
Uh, Job purpose only.
No, 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 that is completely different. Here, this one is different. Power Apps is different. Okay. So it will just it will create an applications and by selecting a data source, sometimes automatically we can create it, or else we can create customized applications also here itself. That means in
So,
Power Apps, what we can do is user can directly interact with the data source. The main motive of this one is directly interact with the data source. Okay, so what business data is there? He is having a business data. Someone is preparing. That means in his team, someone is preparing the business data. Okay,
Mm.
so but in user can whatever user is there, he is able to see the applications, and in that applications what data it is there, whether it is a proper data is there or not. If it is not there, he can directly update it from there itself. Then automatically it will be stored in the data source itself. Understand?
Okay, so there is no like front end, middleware, and back end kind of thing. Only the back
So,
end is there and the
uh,
Power Apps.
yeah, Power Apps is a front-end application. It is a front-end app. From the front-end application, we can interact with the data source itself. Understand clearly?
Okay, and how the user is interacting with that means any application.
Yeah. Like, see, we need to create a different applications. I will show you clearly how we can create with applications and everything one by one. You will understand all these things. Understand? So that means,
So
suppose, for example, you created a table. The table is there. Okay, in the data source, they want user want to see the data, and with the data he need to do some modification. Like, suppose for example, previously what will happen, they need to pass this information to the developer. Okay, and the developer need to change all the things there itself, and after that it is reflected in the front end applications, right? This is what it is doing. But now whenever the Power Apps is introduced, so from the app itself, user without having a developer permissions, he need to directly put the all the information to the data source itself.
okay, the changing the data source by with the help of applications on.
Yeah, with the help of applications, by without writing a single line of code. See, there are different applications using different tools, right? .NET, Java, and everything. But these are all getting for getting a data. We need to create a, that means writing a code, and we need to connect and
Application.
showing
Yes.
the for showing or any updation or anything. If you want to do it, you can write an coding part, right? But here
Mm.
it is no need to do anything here itself. Directly it will interact with the data source. Okay, it is just like an application. What applications you are seeing in your mobile, same like that only.
Okay.
Okay, in your mobile you can read only, permissions will be there, you cannot do anything, right? But here in this Power Apps application, all the permissions will be there for this one. Understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
And what will be the front end that changing application that will be only for front end things. As
Yeah, in
our role
front.
will be there.
Yeah, front end is all. See, it is acts like a front end as well as both the things. Okay, in Power Apps is acts like a front end as well as back end also. Because in the back end, what you have to do, you are doing updation everything. In this Power Apps itself, you can do all the activities here itself. And here itself, you can see the data in different format applications, like suppose for example, there is a form is there. How you need to see the form, like name, first name, what what field you have to fill it in the text box, everything like that, it will be there here itself, like that. Understand?
Okay, sir. So it is not relevant with the Dynamic 365.
No. It is completely different way.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Piyush?
Yeah, hi, hello, sir.
Yeah.
I just want to ask one thing, means if we have a multiple row and column data,